keep pushing, and I'll keep pushing. You keep pushing, and I'll keep pushing. You keep pushing, and I'll keep.
Hi, I'm James. You're watching Jack TV, and we're going to be talking to that man down there, Josh Weller, and find out what he gets up to on tour.
Hi, I'm Josh Weller, and we're backstage at Bushel, a gig that probably no one's going to come to because it's snowing. I'll introduce you to everyone. This is Sebastian's request. He plays the bass. He's single.
Derek Smalls on bass.
This is Chris Cooper, who's playing keys tonight.
For a cup of tea.
Yeah. That's Dan, the tour manager.
Dan, do you know the...
He has a very awkward disposition, but he's actually very charismatic and has a filthy mind.
I don't know.
This is Simon Ribchester on guitar.
Dan Beans.
Say
What
something.
do you fancy doing for dinner, mate?
I know what you're thinking, and he wasn't in the Ordinary Boys. This is
What do you got?
Nick Buxton.
That's what I'm going to say.
Percussion. Our drummer has vanished somewhere to get some food, and I think that's about it. This is the first show that I've ever done in like where I live, because I live in Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first gig ever that I actually walked to.
Right.
Which was, that's not true, I still got in the van, but,
Yeah,
I could have walked to the gig. So I guess that's a good thing, because then I can drink afterwards.
Definitely.
And I can walk home.
As long as you've got your keys, that's all you need.
Exactly, yeah.
But it has snowed a considerable amount, as you can see. Right here, freezing in my hand. So
It's
yeah,
not
that might
really a
not
considerable
be...
amount, but this is England.
Exactly.
And we freak
are
out.
in-
Yeah,
we are in London.
if there's over a centimetre of snow, the whole fucking country shuts down.
I didn't know what to do. I had to cry this morning.
Filming this. Exclusive! Paloma Faith and Josh Weller in a tempestuous love affair.
Thought she was done.
We're done.
So this is a kind of a standalone gig, is that right? This is
Yeah,
part of a
pretty
tour.
much. Yeah, no, it's just
No.
it's kind of just an end of year show, just because
Brilliant.
I think my sort of small but dedicated fan base has been really good this year, and you know everyone's been really patient because I haven't released a record, or you know everything's kind of always been through word of mouth. So I think it's just sort of a thank you to them.
How rock and roll are you on a tour, or just in general in real life? As I see you're supping your mineral water.
Yeah.
How rock and roll? Can you put it on a scale of 1 to 10, or are you too much for that?
I've never done the most rock and roll thing I ever
Yeah.
did, and I think this will always stay the most rock and roll thing. Is I played in a hotel in Paris, and they were demolishing the hotel the day after, and we trashed one of the rooms, which was apparently Keith Richards' room.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then got checked. It was me and Blood Red Shoes,
Yeah.
and we went into it, and they were like, apparently Keith Richards has a room, and he hasn't showed up. So then we went and completely. I threw my guitar case through a glass shower, like.
What, like,
guard
so the
thing.
freestanding
Yeah.
shower and just
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
through the.
And that, but then it kind of broke the guitar.
Oh no. Have you snorted a line of ants?
Never.
No.
I've never snorted anything in my
Oh,
life.
okay. Well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, especially as your mum's going to be watching.
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant. Have you driven a car into a swimming pool?
No, I crashed a moped into a pond when I was 9
Fantastic.
years old.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
That wasn't
literally
rock
it.
and roll, that was just being 9 and not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah, but we can.
Okay, alright.
You were 19
19.
at the time.
Yeah.
Had a fight on stage with either a fan or a bandmate?
Never.
No, not
I
even.
mean, not a fight. I got called a misogynist at Latitude Festival by a girl in the audience.
That's quite a strange heckle, isn't it?
And then you always get the people that think that because my surname is Weller,
Yeah.
I probably should have thought that through and maybe changed my name. But you always get the people shouting jam songs as well, which is really funny.
Let's say you could change your name right now. What would you change it to?
Paul Weller.
Brilliant. Just think of the back catalogue you'd have already.
Yeah.
Be perfect.
I'd have a massive section in HMV.
Yeah.
They don't realize that there's a gap. Sound about 2
2.
on the rock and roll.
All right.
rock and roll scale. 10's like Keith Moon.
Yeah, yeah.
1 is
exactly.
Susan Boyle.
So you're just
Maybe I'm
Susan Boyle.
3.5.
Some bands like the playing, but they don't like the touring aspect of it.
Yeah,
Is that the same for you, or?
I've never toured in in anything that would be considered remotely luxurious or anything. It's always been in like vans with upright seats and that often break down. And then we've done drives, like we've done sort of 600 miles and 24-hour drive kind of things, which is like ridiculous. But it's all kind of I think that just playing just makes up for any of that stuff. What gigs do I remember? What stand out in my memory?
What about your first gig as yourself, as Josh Weller?
That was awful. That was at the Enterprise in Camden, and it was £1. It was every person you bought, you got paid £1. And I remember the lineup because I think it was Peggy Sue, Kate Nash, Laura Dockrell, who used to be called Docker's MC, and me. And at the end of the night, when the promoter was paying everyone, it was like £1 for every person you bought, and it was a full room.
Yeah.
And he paid everyone off and just went, "Here's your fee," and he just put a £1 coin on the table. Chris is actually my oldest friend.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Hey.
That's good. I like that.
Hi, I'm Josh Weller, and you're watching Jack TV.